The woods can be dense for our acts. The sea can be deep for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Ugh. Everybody in my house is still asleep. Get off. Cats. Kitcats. Let's just connect. It's just not going to happen, Dion. I'm going to switch microphones here. There we go. Now it won't go in and out. I just really want it to work, so I'm trying to force it, but it ain't going to happen. I'm not going to get what I want on that. So there's no point fighting it. Charging Together group will be, Facebook group's going to be shut down in the next few days. There's plenty of places to see where I do stuff. Really is. All right. And good morning. Ding. Internet's down over there. We're going to be on the 12 by 12 today. Page 52, I believe. 57. So we'll be on page 57. For those of you that like to follow along. Yeah. Oh, that scared me first. I'm like, I did that whole page. Hey. Your 5G still works though, huh? Yeah. YouTube's pretty good for our 4 or 5G. Don't get up there. You know better. I know. You want nothing but love. Well, come on. Man, you may not even be able to hit meetings and stuff today. That might suck. You can borrow some of my internet. Oh, I'm the only person awake in my house. Good for them, man. If you can sleep in today, do it. Especially in Colorado. It's a stay-at-home kind of day. All right. Rig it. You know, T-Mobile has a prepaid plan also. So, all right. So I'm just answering Amber while she's texting me here because I'm old-fashioned and lazy. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. Yeah. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. The live or the rewatch. Okay. Yeah. All right. let's go ahead and get started. All right. So page 57. I'll just try to wake up here. All right, let's do it. Get this done so I can get my website set up or finished, because the other guys are almost done with the SEO, and I use these people called the free website guys, and they they've been doing the back end work. I know what needs to be said on it, things like that. I can connect things, but the background, let's show it off. Let's just go ahead and show it off. Let's do this. We'll go to trudgingtogether.org. Org. I don't know why all that stuff is up top, but it's not supposed to. YouTube needs to stop screening my comments. Yeah, what is going on with that? I don't know. Maybe you're saying things that you shouldn't. All right. You can see how it goes here. I'll reload it. Nothing big. It just looks a lot better is all. All right, we talk a little bit about, how sharing is good. All right, here's Raw Recovery if you want to go check out Raw Recovery. There's the Daily Trudge, which I haven't done anything with. Right, and then our resources. This will be the resource list, and then just how you can reach us. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. All right. What are we likely to receive from step 5? For one thing, we shall get rid of that terrible sense of isolation we've always had. Almost without exception, alcoholics are tortured by loneliness. Even before our drinking got bad and people began to cut us off, nearly all of us suffered the feeling that we didn't quite belong. YouTube is not God. Yeah, and this is set to not safe. So you should be able to speak your mind, right? But when you own the company, you are kind of the god of it. Before we move on, I would tell you something. The It's not going to be long before all this social media and stuff is just gone, because all the misinformation that's on here will not be reliable, and then we won't be able to count on it anymore. Yeah, when you fake your fake news. All right, it'll happen. It got too big for its britches too fast. The internet was good for one thing: sharing information. But 99% of it's no good. So, yeah. You're probably going to see a tie down on people being able to speak or say what they really want to say. Yeah. Convenience equals less freedom. So, all right. Anyway, so that loneliness that most of us feel, and this is the thing. Even before drinking got bad and people began to get, nearly all of us suffered the feeling that we didn't quite belong. And I really do think that's where it's at. My experience has been, it isn't really that people want to drink like normal drinkers. Not only that, but I hear people say things like, I want to be I want to be a normal drinker and just have 2 or 3 drinks. No, that's not normal drinking. 1 or less is normal drinking. You have too high of a tolerance for one to really do anything to you. Good morning, Gary. It's good to see you. So the thought process of having 2 or 3 just doesn't, you know, no. So, you know, and I figured that out a while ago. For those that knew that they were an alcoholic at a very young age, I knew at 14. I know Amber knew at a young age also. So then why do we continue? Why do we continue? If we know, why do we continue for years and years and years? Because really, I just wanted to fit in. That's it. I just wanted to be a part of something. I wanted to be wanted and needed and loved also. See, like other people in this world. And it's weird, Amber, because it's not showing that you're even here on YouTube. So, yay, internet. Either we were shy and dare not draw near others, or we were apt to be noisy good fellows, craving attention and companionship, but never getting it, at least to our way of thinking. There was always that mysterious barrier, that barrier we could neither surmount nor understand. It was as if we were actors on a stage, suddenly realizing we did not know a single line of our parts. That's one reason we loved alcohol too well. It did let us act extemporaneously, but even Bacchus boomeranged on us. We were finally struck down and left in terrified loneliness. Um, I was both of these things. I was very, very shy. I am still shy. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I am. Okay. Virgos are kind of shy. Unless you get us over emotional, and then you're going to hear all about it. Hey, um, it takes a lot of courage to be transparent, to be vulnerable. It takes a lot of courage to do that, and that is God helping me out with that. Now, I am not afraid to go up and speak in front of a lot of people, which is kind of weird. But when it comes to my time, I'm very selfish about it. I need alone time. There's a lot of things here I will not talk about. There's some personal things. I won't talk about those here. Okay. Um, just like everybody else, I have to force myself to speak at meetings quite often. Every time I do a podcast or do one of these things, I still get nervous. It doesn't show anymore. It tends to go away once I get started. Um, you know, uh, there's a lot of things that go with it. So when we reached AA and for the first time in our lives stood among people who seemed to understand, the sense of belonging was tremendously exciting. Yeah, to finally fucking belong. It's a good feeling. Now, this might be short lived. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy or anything like that. But this is probably going to be short lived when you start to discover that not everybody in AA or in these 12-step meetings has your back. Be careful what you share in meetings. There's some things that are for your sponsors' ears only and should not be shared in meetings. Or other people may use it against you, or it might get spread around. Okay? I mean, we're supposed to talk in a general term. The best thing to do is just stick to your experience, strength, and hope. Right? Morning, Mandy. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. And since everybody's kind of here, I'll just kind of let everybody know because I haven't really made any announcements. Trudging Together is going through a change. I've left almost all groups. It doesn't, I've just left all the groups. I'm kind of backing off on some things. God's telling me that He's going to take care of me. All right. There's a new website coming. It'll be under trudgingtogether.org. I'll be shutting down the Trudging Together group. But if you still want to catch me, I'll be at the Daily Trudge and Raw Recovery. There's just too many landing spots, and it's starting to confuse people, and nothing's really going on in the group. And there's no reason for me to keep maintaining it. So um, it just has to do with and a lot of my stuff is going to start to be in person now. So, um, but keep those groups going. Keep things going, man. Absolutely. You don't need me. You don't need me. Everybody's doing great. I'm proud of it. It's actually, to me, it's growth. It's growth. Like Thursday when somebody in the grassroots meeting called for a group conscious and it wasn't me, I was so fucking happy. I was so happy it wasn't me. So, but it's good to have everybody here. Um, so yeah, it can be really exciting when we get here and find out that we belong somewhere. That we can say that we're lonely, but we don't have to describe our loneliness. There was nothing worse than having to describe my loneliness to someone else and them not understanding. It made me feel more lonely and not want to be around that person because they didn't understand me. Well, that's a lot of people in this world, man. That's a lot of people. Um, so we thought the isolation problem had been solved. We thought, right? But we soon discovered that while we weren't alone anymore in the social sense, many still suffered the old pangs of anxious apartness. Okay. Anxious apartness. What are they talking about? You leave your group and you no longer feel protected. And you want to see those people again because those people were making you feel good. Well, that kind of goes against emotional sobriety. So we're going to have to learn how to utilize these principles outside of the rooms. Yeah, outside of the rooms. And um, ancient apartness, we call this separation anxiety. It just doesn't happen to dogs, it happens to people too. For a long time, when my wife was gone, I would get that would happen to me. I'd have separation anxiety. And you will feel the separation anxiety when you have a good group and the meeting's over. You're gonna feel it. You will. It's okay. It's all right because maybe you got some phone numbers, things like that. Make some phone calls, man. Reach out to people. Say, hey, how you doing? How are you? Yeah, what's going on in your life? Yeah, cool, cool. That's awesome. I'm glad you're doing well. And or oh, you're going through that. That sucks. Anything I can do to kind of help? Hey, until we had talked with somebody complete candor of our conflicts and had listened to someone else do the same thing, we still didn't belong. Step 5 was the answer. It was the beginning of true kinship with man and God. Now, did you catch what I caught in there? 'Cause I caught it. What it said, okay, until we talked with complete candor of our conflict and had listened to someone else do the same thing, we still didn't belong. Now, it's kind of a twofold thing. Number one, your sponsor is probably going to say things. Yes, I went through that too. I kind of did the same thing, you know. And you hear other people's, we call reading our mail, and you hear somebody else in the meeting talk about something that you are going through, right? Okay. The other thing that it is saying is when you are the person listening to step 5. Until you do step 5 with someone else, this is not complete, in my opinion, to what they're saying right there. Right? Is that what it said? And had listened to someone else do the same thing, we still didn't belong. Okay. So this vital step also means it was also the means by which we began to get the feeling that we could be forgiven. See, step 5 is where forgiveness happens. Step 5. And there's only one forgiveness. It's me forgiving myself and asking God to forgive me for my derelictions. That is the forgiveness. See, I can't transmit something I do not have. And if I have not forgiven myself, and if I have not completed step 5 and been forgiven, I cannot forgive other people for what they have done to me. And I will not be able to move on because I don't love myself well enough to understand that I'm never going to get a sorry. I'm never that will never ever probably come to justice. And I'm going to have to be okay with it because it's my side of the street that I must clean, right? Yeah. Got the feeling that we could be forgiving no matter what we had thought or done. Often, it was while working on this step with our sponsors or spiritual advisors that we were first truly able to forgive others. How are we going to create justice if we don't bring in forgiveness? Now, forgiveness only goes as far as I can forgive those actions, right? Now, I'm talking about me here, but I do not believe that I can truly forgive. That is between them and their higher power. There's nothing I can do about that. Nope. I can forgive, but I will not forget. Right? And there's things that go in that. Maybe a while before I trust them again. Okay. It kind of depends on what it is. Kind of depends on what it is. Depends on who it is. There's been you bet there's been times people have made mistakes and I'm like, I'm not even gonna count that one up. Just not, you know. So it's kind of a perception, but no matter how deeply we felt that they had wronged us, our moral inventory had persuaded us that all around forgiveness was desirable. But it was only when we resolutely tackled step 5 that we inwardly knew, and a new is italicized. That means it's important. We'd be able to receive forgiveness and give it too. See, that's another thing. See, in the progress, how can other people forgive you if you have not forgiven yourself? See, you're a human being. And it's not a matter of when, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Things are gonna happen, right? All right. One more paragraph and we're gonna wrap it up. Another great dividend we may expect from confiding our defects to another human being is humility, a word often misunderstood. To those who have made progress in AA, it amounts to the clear recognition of what and who we really are, followed by a sincere attempt to become what we could be. I like, it amounts to a clear recognition of what and who we really are. Right? So when I dig deep, I start to see exactly how this is affecting me, where it is affecting me, right? Now, what is the first step in being able to solve any problem? Well, we got to have awareness of the root of the problem. Awareness of the root of the problem. That's what we need to get down to. I need that root because what we're doing here is we're weeding our garden, right? And when you pull weeds, okay, you got to get down to the root, or what happens? Well, they fester and come back, don't they? Now, you might fall back into old behavior here and there. Forgive yourself, dust yourself off, and get back to doing what you were doing. There is no point in wasting that much time and foolishly using up time and self pity on that. You're a human being, and forgiveness is desirable. Because if you're willing, I have found something out. When I'm willing and I admit it to someone else, I am automatically forgiven by my higher power. They just wanted me to admit it out loud to another human being so that it could build more trust in listening to his children so that I can be of better use to my higher power. It's all about maximum service. It's all about everything that we do and talk about here so that we can be of maximum service to our higher power and the world around us. Very simple, very straightforward. To those who have made progress in AA, it amounts to a clear recognition of who we really are, followed by a sincere attempt to become what we could be. Therefore, Our first practical move towards humility must consist of recognizing our deficiencies. No defect can be corrected unless we clearly see what it is. But we shall have to do more than see. The objective look at ourselves was achieved in step 4 was, after all, only a look. All of us saw, for example, that we had lacked honesty and tolerance, that we were beset at times by attacks of self pity or delusion of personal grandeur. But while this was a humiliating experience, it did not necessarily mean we had acquired much actual humility. There is a big difference between humiliation and humility. They are two separate words. Okay? Humiliation is the acts of my past that I'm not proud of, where people can point and judge me. Yeah. Humility is the courage of God. To me, that's what it is. Because when I utilize humility, I get more courage. It's what seems to happen. Though now recognized our defects were still there, something had to be done about them, and we soon found that we could not wish or will them away by ourselves. Okay? There's two options here. Call them the snakes. And you got two options. You can either pull them out, look at them, and face them, or you can wait for the trauma to happen later in life and go to therapy. Those are the options. Or suffer. Or suffer. There's that. So I guess there's three options. You could always just suffer the rest of your life. But that's going to lead to drinking because those emotions are going to get too big and you're not going to want to feel them anymore. And there's only so much you can do on the unaided will. That's true. And that is true of almost every single mental illness that I know. We've got to have outside help. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out.